So in this video, I'm going to be focusing on a mock that I created for the Barra Magna expansion project. It is one of the small form vehicles, but it is a Rahi pulled rickshaw type vehicle. I'm very happy with how it has come out. Obviously, there are some color changes that I want to make, but that is something I'll talk about. And of course, if you like this type of content, make sure you're subscribed. Really helps the channel out. I'm Skybird. Let's go ahead and get right on into it. So we're going to start with the rickshaw first, because I think it's obviously the bulk of this, but I'm really happy with the Rahi that I built for this as well. And the rickshaw design is actually fairly straightforward. Kind of looks like an electric wheelchair, which I think is great, but it definitely works. And what I really like about this is, although I went for the color scheme of dark gray plus silver, which in hindsight feels a little bit bland to me, nearly every piece that I chose for this set is also available in Keat Orange. That was a happy accident. I didn't mean to do that, but hey, it works. I'm not going to complain. These Kalama armor pieces are available in Keat Orange on the Teleris set, as well as this foot here on Teleris and Ranu. And of course, even the lift arms in this set are available in Keat Orange for the most part. Obviously, some like L-shaped lift arms, some thin lift arms are not, but generally speaking, a lot of this set is available in the Keat Orange color scheme, including even the Kopaka style radar dish shields, which look really good with that dark azure shield piece from the Jurassic Park series, if I might add as well. On top of that, the armor on the inside of the model here, that Matoro shell piece, is available in Keat Orange 2 on the Toa Matanui set, so that all makes sense, right? On top of that, though, I think generally speaking, it looks pretty good. The Agori character on the inside of the model is inspired by Savarius. Savarius, of course, being the knockoff set that I recently obtained from the Master of Disaster or Glopo series, whatever you want to call them. Really happy with that set as it stands, and just the name alone feels very Glatorian in its, name, right? Savarius feels very much like a name we would have heard back in 2009, but also I think generally speaking, his aesthetic overall looks really good for what I'm trying to go for. So the vehicle itself looks basically like this. I'd probably work to affix this lift arm on here a little bit better because it's just attached via one pin and an axle. And right now, currently, the character could pretty easily pull that off. So there are a lot of things that I can do to affix that in place. No big deal, but I haven't worked on it just yet. So overall, really happy with the design of the vehicle itself. In terms of features, obviously it has the chains on the front to attach to the Rahi. They're a little bit shorter than I'd like, but I don't have that many in pearl silver for some reason. The most I have are back there hanging on my shelf in pearl dark gray of all things. So, or technically titanium metallic, gunmetal, whatever you want to call it. That said, it has the launcher up here connected to a Glatorian fist in silver too. And generally speaking, I would keep all of the silver pieces silver unless they come in Keat Orange, like this armor, like the Pohatu claw, like the Kalama armor back here. But I do like the silver on the set as its sort of metallic color, right? I'm trying to go for this sort of aesthetic of kind of an ornate sort of I don't know how else to describe the aesthetic I'm going for. I don't have the words for it right at the top of my head. But that said, in terms of other features, the entire mast can be tilted downward as well. It's held on by the two ball joints back here, attached to some Hordika necks. But directly atop that is the actual cape, which can actually unfold as well for privacy. So you can unfold both sides here, and it folds up very nicely. This is actually the cape that comes with the William Furno XL set from Brain Attack, and then of course you can pin this back down with the little lift arm that just folds up and kind of holds it in place. So that way it doesn't blow around or move around too much, although trying to do this with one arm is a little difficult while also keeping it on camera. Not working out too well for me. All right, anyway. So yeah, overall it's very capable of sort of just giving privacy to the character that rides on the inside of the model. Very happy with that. And it can be actuated by the actual life counter itself. So you can just tilt the life counter down and up to enable it to do that, which I think works out very well. Balance-wise, it's really well balanced. That was obviously something that I was focused on, so it can hold itself up very easily on just about any surface. And of course, it has rubber on the back wheels here as well, which again kind of leans into the wheelchair aesthetic, but I think it works out well enough. You've got these silver connectors on the sides here for connecting the fists to, and the wheels are able to fairly freely spin as well. But yeah, generally speaking, very happy with the design of the model overall. As I mentioned, all of the lift arms in the set, all the thick lift arms at least, with the exception of some in the roof portion itself, do come in that Keat orange color. And even many of them, in fact, I believe still all of those come in Keat orange too. So super duper happy with the design and with how everything came out. Let me go ahead and show you the Agori figure from the inside of the model very quickly. I didn't add any weapons onto the model for him to carry when he is dismounted currently, but that's a very easy thing to do, which I'll probably end up doing anyway. This is what he looks like though, and I think generally speaking, he looks very good overall. Obviously, you can see the build for the dark orange legs there. It's fairly straightforward, but it works out fairly well. Came up with it for something else, I honestly don't remember, but it works out well here too. And of course it has the helmet from the bulk set there in pearl silver. Next up, the bird. Yeah, so the Rahi that pulls the model itself is this little bird right here. Also using some techniques that I have designed for other models, including the feet that I came up with for one of my Glatorian for the series, for the Bar Magna expansion project, but also the bird head on here, which is a head that I came up with as a combination of the Galak Borak set and the Nuvok Va Borak Va set. That's the Manu bird. It is over on the Discord server, and you can find that just by searching that in the Skybird Rahi channel. That said, the build is fairly straightforward. Of course, the head on here is a resin cast that I made quite a while ago, so I'm very happy with how that came out. And I wanted something generally colorful up here too for like plumage on the top of the head, something that really stands out against the tans and oranges of, which I guess it's still orange, but of the desert that this exists within. Also, the large feet make a lot of sense for me on sand because, again, it sort of helps the figure hold itself up. Think of it like snowshoes, just kind of keeps it from sinking into the sand. And the build overall is pretty straightforward, just built around, which is actually hard to see, around a long double socket in there as well. So I think that's a pretty good use of those parts. And the wings can, of course, splay outward as well. The neck can tilt down, so you can sort of put it into a bit of a flying pose if you want to. Not really necessary because I didn't design it as a flying bird, but you know, it has the option to fly or maybe to at least sort of flick its wings around and glide a bit. Obviously, it's a fairly large bird to take flight in full, but I think for something that's kind of ostrich-like or emu-like or something, it's obviously capable of doing a little more than they can with their wings. So overall, I'm very, very happy with how everything in this set came out. It's a fairly straightforward, fairly self-explanatory build, but it feels different from just about anything that we got from 2009 Bionicle in general. And it still feels, well, not completely different, obviously. I took inspiration from the Baroness set as it stands. And I've even designed a separate set that is even more similar to the Baroness as well in the past. So that's pretty much everything for this video. But of course, again, if you like this video and if you want to see more builds like this one, check out that Discord, which is linked down in the description below, and make sure you're subscribed so you do not miss more content like this. Of course, on top of that, you can check out the Instagram and Patreon, both of which help support the channel here. That's linked in the description too. And before I end the video, I just want to say, if you are a member of the Patreon at any tier, $1, $3, or $5, you have access to my new updated file compendium, which is just called Files for Sale, over on the Discord server in the Patreon exclusive channel. That is over 2 gigabytes worth of files, over 200 different Rahi files for Studio, which is a program that's free through Bricklink. Good Lord. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video. But yeah, I highly encourage you to check that out. And of course, as always, it helps the channel out anyway. So kind of killing two birds with one stone, I guess. I say that as I do a bird video. Now I'm sad. All right, take care, guys.